couple of songs on the new record that really stand out to me. One is Zero Christ. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that was the second song that we wrote for the new album, or for the last album, and that one just came together really well. It's got a lot of different moods and vibes and ups and downs, and it's like one of the more technical songs, one of the more ripping songs, and that song just kind of, I don't know, it kind of took shape in a way where it had this very distinct characteristic, and the lyrical content kind of played off of it really well, and so the whole thing just worked really well. That's probably my favorite song on the CD.
They're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the government knows about them.
Talk a little bit about the kind of the dual songs of Planetary Duality.
Oh yeah. Well, it was actually originally written as just one song, and we decided to split it later just because together it was like over 7 minutes, and actually I think it's even longer than that. But the first part of it was just basically it was written around the one riff that goes, and actually it was our keyboardist at the time who wrote the skeleton of the riff, and then from there I just kept coming up with these variations for the riff, and kind of changing it around and doing this and that, and kind of made a whole track out of it, which at the time I didn't really plan on it being its own track. It was just going to be the beginning of Planetary Duality 2, and Planetary Duality 2 was the last song, I think both of the whole thing, 1 and 2, is the last song I wrote for the album thing. But yeah, and so it was later decided to divide them up, and I think with the lyrical and the lyrical content and the theme of the 2 tracks, I think we made like a conscious effort to kind of like have them play off of the 2 vibes of the song. The second half of the track is very like chaotic and frantic, and like almost has this like panicky, overwhelming feeling to it, as do the lyrics, which is kind of like explosive and
talking about outer spacemen and visitors,
when everything comes to a head, and and infinite dimensions cross paths to recreate reality.
Let's go,
I want to just touch on real briefly, which is
the Ancient
Covenant.
Yeah, the Ancient Covenant. That was the first song that we wrote for the new album, or the last album, and that one kind of came together from the first riff of the song. Is actually the first riff that I wrote for it, and then me and Steve got together and we worked on what riffs we had and kind of threw stuff together. And I think we had been listening to Noctambulant by Spawn of Possession a lot. It kind of had that like harmonic concept that's like real big on that album, kind of stuck in our head, so that kind of shines through in the song a little bit, which I love that band, so Steve was a little band too.
Shit we like.
So we want to move on to the segment we call Shit We Like. What are some of the things that you're listening to out there?
Well, as far as new stuff, we're all really big on the new Obscura album. That's really good.
Okay.
That's been in frequent rotation, and the new Psychroptic album's really good too. But we kind of listen to a little bit of everything. We don't really, listen to metal exclusively by any means. You'll find us listening to all kinds of stuff. Lots of like prog stuff, lots of fusion, and rock, whatever. So a little bit of everything.
If you like this band, you should buy their music and other merchandise at WhiteNoiseMetal.com. If you like White Noise Metal, say so with positive comments on iTunes and MySpace. And please tell your friends about the bands you've heard on White Noise Metal with that BS dude, Brian Shields.
White Noise!